And straight ahead on WBKB, indoor dining is officially set to return next month.
Plus, vaccine clinics in Northeast Michigan have been canceled, and an update on Thursday's Alpena Community College meeting.
You are watching Thunder Bay News Network. WBKB News at 6 starts now.
This is WBKB News at 6. An in-depth look at news, weather, and sports. From hard-hitting news stories to local events, we're there with coverage you can count on. You're watching WBKB News at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Sherry Stewart.
And I'm Tyler Cruz. Well, indoor dining and several other activities are officially back in February. At her press conference Friday morning, Governor Whitmer announced that indoor dining at restaurants, concessions at casinos, and personal services will be able to return on February 1st.
Today, the Department of Health and Human Services is issuing an epidemic order to resume indoor dining on Monday, February 1st.
And we got a reaction from one local restaurant owner on the plan for reopening Michigan.
I know a lot of people have been struggling through this, and it's been an up and down. You know, we weren't quite sure when we could open. It changes so much for people that I think actually having a definitive date now I think everybody's got a big weight off their shoulders.
And while indoor dining has been given the green light, safety measures do remain in place for both staff and customers. Dr. Janae Caldoon explained those restrictions.
The new way restaurants will be open with some restrictions, including a 25% capacity limit and a curfew of 10 p.m.
And Dr. Caldoon says if you are or live with someone who is elderly or suffering from underlying conditions, that the safest thing to do is not eat inside a restaurant. However, she does recommend continuing to support local restaurants through takeout or other means. And we've had a few people email WBKB with questions about scheduling an appointment for COVID-19 vaccines. District Health Department number 4 staff and volunteers are scheduling clinics from the online pre-registration forms received. They ask that those who can pre-register online do so at dhd4.org/COVID-19 vaccine. According to Health Department staff, if you receive a thanks for submitting message, you are in the vaccination queue. You will not receive a confirmation email or call. The department asks that you do not call or confirm your online pre-registration as it ties up phone lines for those that cannot register online. If you cannot register online, continue to call 989-356-4507 and choose option 1.
Also Friday, the Health Department is alerting the public that vaccination clinics scheduled next week in several Northeast Michigan counties have been canceled due to a reduction in vaccine shipment. Those planned vaccination clinics are listed on your screen. The Health Department says anyone scheduled in the canceled clinics will not lose their spot. A Health Department representative will contact you and reschedule into the next available appointment in your county when more vaccine supplies are received. Again, the Health Department asks that you do not try and call to reschedule your appointment. A representative will call you.
Well, the Alpena High School's campus closet has faced its challenges during the pandemic, but they found an alternative to still serve their students. The campus closet, which is the school store, sells AHS merchandise such as t-shirts, hats, and sweatshirts. Because of the closure of schools, the store had no choice but to close too. Senior and Assistant Store Manager Brett Budnick says the plan they had in place is working, while it is working very well.
Because of COVID, we had to shut down the school to the public, basically, so we came up with the idea of developing a website. So this website had already been in production for about 2 years, and this year we finally were able to wrap it up and release it to the public.
Budnick says students can come into the store or purchase online, but non-students must purchase online only. He says their website has special deals all the time, and they are not offering delivery, only curbside pickup. Budnick is not certain when the store will reopen, and for more information, you can visit them online or phone 358-5256.
Well, the Alpena Community College held their regular meeting Thursday night and discussed the update on Baylor Hall renovations and provided the amount distributed to students from the CARES Act hardship dollars. Renovations for Baylor Hall are still underway. The project was expected to be completed in spring of 2021, but is now projected to open at the end of July. Other items discussed were the purchase of additional technology for the school. Also discussed was the distribution of the CARES Act hardship dollars given to students this past March. ACC President Dr. Don McMaster provided the amount of money distributed.
We distributed $379,000, slightly more, to ACC students as part of that stimulus bill. That was all institutions of higher education who got that money had to distribute half of it to students.
McMaster says this disbursement was part of the first stimulus bill. He added that there has been a 4% decline in enrollment at ACC, which he attributes to COVID. He says this is not that bad compared to national data, which shows four-year colleges and universities are being hit harder.
Well, February is National Pet Dental Care Month. However, you may want to start prepping your pet now. WBKB's Kent Davis has the story.
Dr. Danielle Knight of Schweitzer Veterinary Clinic says cats and dogs get bacterial buildup in their mouths like we do. This bacteria can cause tooth decay and, by extension, chronic pain. Dr. Knight says pet owners should establish a habit brushing their pet's teeth once a day. She adds the process starts by making your pet comfortable with letting you move their lips.
So a treat, touch their mouth, another treat, and be done. Depending on the pet, I say it may take a month of training to get to the point of a full actual brushing experience.
While a normal toothbrush will work fine for pets, Dr. Knight says you must absolutely get specialty toothpaste. Some chemicals in human toothpaste are toxic to cats and dogs. Pet toothpaste comes in flavors like chicken or fish that make brushing more pleasant for animals. Finally, Knight adds that tooth decay for some pets can take place below the gum line. Pets can use anesthesia to get access to that area.
The portion of the teeth that are visible is only about half to a third of what the actual tooth consists of.
Ultimately, Knight says, the best thing you can do is talk to your vet about your pet's dental needs. In Alpena, Kent Davis, WBKB News.
And Knight says dental sticks or treats are a good supplement, but they shouldn't replace a regular brushing routine.
I wonder if they have bacon-flavored toothpaste for my dogs back at home. Well, there's more news ahead for you here on WBKB. Coming up, it isn't just a gander with Vander. You're also cruising with Cruise. Field Trip Friday is next.
Getting up to about 24 degrees. We should see a few breaks of sunshine for Saturday as well. A little bit of snow's on the way for Sunday, more on that, and some even warmer temperatures beyond that as well coming up later in the newscast.
Well, thanks for that, Ellie. And Cherry, rumor has it I made my Field Trip Friday debut this month. For this episode, Jake and I take you to Duck Park for a little winter fun.
It feels like last year was one of the longest years in history.
But it's finally 2021, and it was a long time coming.
It's time to start fresh.
Yeah, wipe the slate clean.
Welcome to Field Trip Friday. This week we set our sights on Island Park,
also known as Duck Park or Sportsman Island.
We brought our fishing gear
and the WBKB sled.
All right, let's check this out.
Located at the corner of Long Rapids Road and US 23 is Island Park.
The park rests on the Thunder Bay River and offers hiking, a public launch for kayaks and canoes, and the covered bridge is the perfect place to fish from.
Got anything?
Oh, I got a bunch of weeds.
You ever seen the movie Gone Fishing?
The trails lead to a number of forking paths to explore, and plenty of docks and platforms to get a better view of this beautiful scenery.
Hundreds of years before we were here, generations of Native Americans called Alpena their home.
Today we honor the memory of these beloved people with this beautiful land surrounded by 500 acres of wildlife sanctuary.
Native Americans called Lake Huron Anamaki, which meant Thunder Bay.
The name supposedly comes from the thundering sound made by the waves plunging into the rocky shore.
A small band of Ottawa lived in a little village named Anamaki, meaning the Thunder, located on the Thunder Bay River, which was called Anamaki Zebe.
And Sportsman's Island was home to Alpena's last tribal chief, Saganakato.
Also known as Chief Thundercloud. According to visitalpena.com, the chief lived on this island until his passing in 1893 at 93 years old.
Even now in the winter, if you listen closely, you can hear the swans and the geese.
And in the springtime, be on the lookout for turtle, otters, and beaver, and you may see the occasional deer.
This is a great place to go out for an adventure, that's for sure. We'll see you next time on Field Trip Friday.
Well, that was really fun. Maybe one day I'll catch a fish out there.
Yeah, let's hope. Well, coming up on WBKB News, Ellie Morrison is next with your 7-day forecast, plus the photo of the day. Stay tuned.
We check. This is a picture of Sammy the squirrel in Black River. Norma says he comes by every day. Thank you, Norma, for sending us this photo. If you have a photo such as nature shots, pics with friends, or interesting sights you see that you'd like to send us, email it along with a short description to news@wbkb11.com.
That's a nice photo. I'm glad she named the squirrel, too,
Yes.
Sammy. Well, sports is coming up next. You don't want to miss that. But first, Jake Vanderbrook is in with a preview. Jake, what's going on?
Hey Tyler, next in sports, online sports betting is officially underway. It's legal now. We'll talk about betting lines from Vegas and who is favored to win for all of our Michigan sports teams that are playing this evening. Plus, the wait continues for some high school sports. I'll explain why up next in sports.
Well, we're out of time for tonight, but you can read more about our broadcast stories and get the scoop on other news items online.
Just visit WBKB11.com for sports, weather, and news updates anytime, day or night.
Or be sure to check us out on our Facebook page and Twitter handle at WBKB11.
And that's all we have for you this evening. Be sure to catch us back here tonight at 11 with Kent Davis.